You're not going to believe this, but the vast majority of new LLC owners are making 5 critical mistakes that could completely destroy their business protection and cost them tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. Even if you just formed your LLC last week, you could already be in serious legal and financial trouble without even knowing it. Look, this isn't your fault. The system is designed to keep you in the dark. When you file for an LLC, the state just takes your filing fee, hand you a certificate, and send you on your way with zero guidance. They don't tell you about the ongoing requirements, the tax implications, or the critical next steps you must take to actually get the protection you paid for. I'm Tiffany Phillips, CPA and Tax Strategist, and I've seen brilliant entrepreneurs lose everything because they thought forming an LLC was a one and done deal. The truth is, forming your LLC is just step 1. If you don't follow through these 5 critical requirements, your LLC protection is basically worthless paper. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because I'm going to save you from making mistakes that could cost you and your business, your personal assets, and your financial future. The biggest mistake I see new LLC owners make is getting their EIN number and then treating it like some meaningless piece of paperwork they can ignore. Your EIN, your employer identification number, is like your business's social security number. It's a 9-digit number issued by the IRS that identifies your company for tax purposes. And if you're not using it consistently and correctly, you're setting yourself up for complete disaster. Here's what happens in the real world. You get excited about your new business, you file for your LLC paperwork, maybe you even get your EIN, but then you keep using your personal bank account for business transactions. You use your social security number when vendors ask for tax information. You mix business and personal expenses on the same credit card. You think, I'm just getting started. I'll sort this out later. That later never comes. And when it does, it's usually because you're facing a lawsuit, an IRS audit, or trying to get a business loan and discovering your financial records are a complete mess. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when you don't use your EIN properly. Imagine you're a consultant and a client decides to sue you for $200,000. They claim your advice cost them money. Now, if you've been mixing personal and business funds, using your social security number for business transactions, and generally treating your LLC like it doesn't exist, their lawyer is going to argue something called piercing the corporate veil. They're going to tell the judge, Your Honor, this person never really operated as a separate business entity. They mixed personal and business funds. They didn't follow proper procedures. They treated the LLC like it was just them with a fancy name. Therefore, there's no real separation between the person and the business, and we should be able to go after their personal assets. And you know what? The judge might agree. Suddenly, your house, your car, your personal savings, your retirement accounts, everything you've worked for is at risk because you didn't use a 9-digit number consistently. Here's exactly what you need to do step by step. First, the moment you get your EIN, you open a business bank account using that number, not your social security number. I don't care if you're just starting out and you only have $50 to put in it. Open the account. From that moment forward, every single dollar that comes into that business goes into this account. Every business expense comes out of this account, no exceptions. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, not when you remember. Every single transaction. When you pay for business expenses with your personal credit card, and yes, this will happen occasionally, you immediately reimburse yourself from the business account with proper documentation. You don't let it slide for months. When vendors ask for your tax ID number, you give them your EIN, not your social security number. When you're setting up business credit cards, business insurance, business anything, use your EIN. Here's something most people don't realize. Using your EIN properly isn't just about liability protection. It's the foundation for building business credit, which can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to your company's growth. Banks and lenders want to see that your business has a consistent financial history. They want to see money coming in regularly, expenses being paid on time, and a clear separation between your personal and business finances. Without a business bank account tied to your EIN, it's nearly impossible to demonstrate this. I saw this firsthand during the pandemic. Thousands of business owners applied for PPP loans and EIDL disaster loan. Many were denied, not because they weren't making money, but because they couldn't prove their business income. Their finances were so mixed up with personal expenses that lenders couldn't tell what was legitimate business revenue. Don't let this be you. Your EIN is your business's financial identity. Treat it with the respect it deserves. Now, this next mistake is costing new LLC owners thousands of dollars every single year, and most don't even realize it's happening. It's all about not understanding what type of income your LLC generates and why this matters more than almost anything else when it comes to your taxes. Here's the thing. Not all income is created equal in the eyes of the IRS. The type of income your LLC earns determines not just how much tax you'll pay, but what strategies you can use to reduce those taxes, what business structure makes sense for you, and what deductions and credits you qualify for. Let me break down the 3 primary types of income because understanding this could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars. First, there's ordinary income. This is money you earn by actively working, exchanging your time, skills, and effort for money. If you're a consultant, a freelancer, a service provider, a coach, or you run any kind of business where you're actively involved in generating revenue, you're probably earning ordinary income. Here's the problem with ordinary income. It gets hit with what's called self-employment tax. That's 15.3% right off the top, 12.4% for Social Security, and 2.9% for Medicare. Then you add federal income tax on top of that, plus state taxes if you live in a state that has them. Let's do some math. Say you're making $100,000 in profit from your LLC. You're going to pay $15,300 in self-employment tax, plus let's say 22% federal income tax on the remaining amount, plus maybe 5% state tax. You're looking at an effective tax rate of over 40%. That means you're keeping less than $60,000 of your $100,000 profit. But here's where it gets really painful. As your income grows, this problem gets worse. Once you're making over $50,000 in profit, that's 15.3% in self-employment tax starts to feel like a massive anchor dragging down your financial progress. This is why smart business owners consider making an S corporation election once they hit certain profit levels. With an S corp, you pay yourself a reasonable salary, let's say $60,000. That salary is subject to payroll taxes just like an employee, but your remaining $40,000 in profit comes out as distributions, which are not subject to self-employment tax. So instead of paying 15.3% on the full $100,000, you only pay on $60,000. That saves you over $6,000 per year in taxes. As your profit grows, these savings become massive. But here's the catch. You have to know this strategy exists and you have to implement it correctly. Most CPAs never mention it because they're focused on compliance, not strategy. The second type of income is passive income. This is money you earn without actively working day to day. The most common example is rental income from investment properties, but it can also include royalties, licensing fees, or income from businesses where you're not actively involved. The beautiful thing about passive income is that it's not subject to self-employment tax. You're not working for it, so the IRS doesn't consider it earned income. You still pay regular income tax on it, but you save that 15.3% self-employment tax. This is why I frequently help clients set up separate LLCs for their real estate investment. It protects their assets, separates their business finances, and ensures they're not paying unnecessary self-employment taxes on their rental income. The third type of income is portfolio income, money from investments like stocks, bonds, capital gains, and dividends. This is usually more relevant for established business owners who have built up enough wealth to invest, but it's important to understand because the tax treatment is completely different. Portfolio income often qualifies for preferential tax rate. Long-term capital gains, for example, are taxed at 0, 15, or 20% depending on your income level, which is much lower than ordinary income tax rate. Here's the frustrating truth. Most CPAs never explain these distinctions because they're trained to be tax preparers, not tax strategists. They fill out forms based on what you give them, but they don't help you structure your business to minimize taxes. Understanding your income type isn't just academic. It's the foundation for every tax strategy you'll ever use. It determines whether you should elect S corporation status, how you should structure multiple business ventures, what retirement plans make sense for you, and dozens of other critical decisions.